YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel web for all things geeky and cool. And welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to a brand new Funko review and unboxing video. And I'm super excited to talk about these two brand new pops I got my hands on just a few short weeks ago as far as recording of this video. Both Thor and Mighty Thor, aka Jane Foster. They take liberty from the brand new movie coming out, Thor Love and Thunder. Looks to be a great flick. And before I get ahead of myself, I want to thank all the viewers and subscribers who still follow me on YouTube nearly 6 years later as far as July recording of this video goes. I'm ecstatic you still like my content, still follow me. Always click that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out immensely. Lets me know you like what I'm putting out for you guys. So as I mentioned before, we're talking about both Thor Pop 1040 and Mighty Thor. And we're doing this in a breakdown segment. When we go to breakdown segment, we talk about the packaging and presentation, and the packaging looks really, really flashy and really, really sharp. I can see them redoing these and redecorating the packaging and the figures in a black light design, specifically because the poster, as you can tell from the thumbnail as far as this video goes, looks to be really flashy and looks like something you see maybe in the late 70s and early 80s. Very disco-y, very, very flashy, in-your-face sort of approach. That's what it looks like to me. I want to point that out there. So I think they could probably do blacklight versions of these same characters, same box down the road. So let's talk about the breakdown segment first, the packaging and presentation. Let's first focus on Thor himself. This looks to be a really cool pop. We'll put it on a turntable shortly here, but let's break it down here. We have the pop symbol here, which is surprising. You probably would have thought maybe this was Pop's movies. They didn't do that. They just kept it as Pop. We have the Love and Thunder logo right there, Pop 1040 or 1040. A great window box design of Thor here with his beard and his really flashy armor, which we'll talk more about that when we get him out of packaging. It does say Thor down here. Over here you have a shot of what he looks like. He is in a flight stand, so that's pretty cool. We don't see a lot of characters in flight stands. It's really nice to get more of those characters. We do have Thor listed over here, and the back of the packaging is the Love and Thunder logo and all the characters available in that particular wave, which looks really, really cool. Let's bring him around on a turntable so you can see him in 360. It does great. It does look really, really good. As I mentioned before, I can really see this as a blacklight just because of the side shot of the packaging. It's an explosion symbol. It looks to be in your face. I could definitely see them going with a blacklight deco for that. We've seen characters have these sort of flashy packaging before, and they make blacklight alternatives for the same character, same design, same packaging, everything. They would just change it to be a blacklight design. They have done similar things like that in the past, so I can see them going with that route as well. Now let's talk about Jane Foster, aka Mighty Thor. There was a comic run that talked about both Mighty Thor and Gore the God Butcher. There was a very prevalent run for Marvel that ran it. Unfortunately, I didn't read it. I didn't read any Marvel comics, but I know the general gist of the plot, and there's a lot of stuff happens with Jane Foster and why she actually has Mjolnir and why it's broken. Of course, we saw it get broken in Ragnarok's movie. That's the reason why it's busted, if you wanted to know. And that's why it's kind of held together with energy. So we do have, again, pop symbol right here. Again, not movies. Love and Thunder at the top. We have pop number 1041 or 1041. A nice window box display of Jane Foster, Mighty Thor. It does say Mighty Thor down here. Again, over here, a side shot of the character looks like holding Mjolnir, which looks really awesome. And of course, Mighty Thor right there. Back of the packaging, very similar to the pop we saw for normal Thor. And let's bring it around on a turntable so you can see what it looks like as well in 360. Again, like what they did here with the design. Again, I can see the same thing we just saw for the Thor pop as going as a blacklight design. I can see them going in that direction. It just has that feeling to me because of the flash and the glitz and the glamour of what they're doing with all the literature and all the ads for it, all the movie posters and all the bumpers you would see coming at the theaters and coming on your TV. I can see them definitely going for more of a flashy design, or maybe glow in the dark or something in your face is what I can definitely see them doing down the road. So let's put them both in the shot so you see both what they look like here. Let's get them both out of packaging and get into the breakdown segment. Alright guys, we have our Thor and Mighty Thor figures out of packaging. Next thing we do in the breakdown segment, we take pops out of packaging, is look at the paint and articulation. Again, let's first focus on Thor and come back to Mighty Thor, Jane Foster. Thor here looks really, really good. I like what Funko did here. A very strong looking character in flight, looks really cool. Great design, great attention to detail for that face. Let's look at that face sculpt. The beard right there coming through looks really great. The back of the hair looks really cool. They did a really cool amount of tooling and deco here. He has this kind of ponytail going down the center here. He has all his hair next to it, kind of whipping around as he's flying. I love the cape here, kind of bowing in the wind. He's in this really cool flight pose. If you're going to ask, can you remove the stand from the back of the figure? I don't think you can. I've tried moving it. It seems like it's glued into place. Please don't force it. You might break the back of the flight point. Don't do that. I'm trying to move it and it's keeping itself attached. I assume it's meant to be stuck in there permanently, so don't mess with it. I love the outfit. It's very, very flashy. There's a lot of attention to detail. The colors here, teals and your blacks and your gold accents look great. Let's take a look, of course, at Stormbreaker. The blue energy coming off the front of the war axe looking weapon looks really, really good. I like the attention to detail. Looks awesome. Him holding it right there. You can see the energy coming from the bottom as well right here. It looks amazing. I like what they did with this. Funko did a great look and great design for this figure based on the movie, kind of taking what they had there, extrapolated it in vinyl figure form. Looks great. Let's bring it around on turntable so you can see it in 360. Again, I like what they did here. Him flying, the energy coming off the axe is kind of whipping around, the energy around the top of the head. And then, of course, you have the cape bowing to the side. Looks really, really cool. I think it would fit really, really well with other Marvel characters side by side, especially in a flight pose, like maybe an action kind of backdrop if you wanted to do something like that. I think that would work really, really well. So this one, definitely, my personal opinion, at $13 US, 100% a buy. Definitely buy this guy. Now we come to Jane Foster, which I think is the weaker of the two characters. I do like what they tried doing with her. The helmet looks really cool, the sort of Valkyrie helmet. I love that kind of Nordic symbol right here, the Viking symbol. You can see the eagle wings on both sides. That Thor's had a helmet similar to this before. I like the attention to detail and the deco of the line work. Looks really good. This sort of gunmetal approach. The big thick eyelashes look really cool. I do like, the way the look and feel for her is. She has a different considered outfit completely compared to Thor. Thor's outfit, again, more flashy and more glitz and glamour compared to Mighty Thor. Jane Foster here is more of murky and more dull colored, more, I would think, battle oriented, or something that more drab colors, or something that maybe Thor would have worn at one time. But now this is Mighty Thor's outfit, taking sort of liberty to what Thor looked like to showcase this new design. I do like how the hair comes out the bottom right there, and of course we have another red cape, and of course we have here Mjolnir, which is broken. This, of course, are after effects from the Ragnarok movie, from the prior Thor movie, where that Mjolnir hammer was broken. It looks like it's held together with some type of energy or lightning effects. I can see definitely them making a glow-in-the-dark version of her, or, of course, as I mentioned before, blacklight versions, to really give that glow effect to the hammer or Mjolnir. It would look really, really cool. Now, she does need a figure stand, unfortunately. Single point right there on that foot. She has a very thin body, and that is one of my main concerns with the figure, because it looks like she wants to tip backwards. It looks like she's even leaning backwards. You'll see it when I spin around 360 here. When it gets to the side profile shot of the character, you'll see what I'm talking about. She wants to kind of just keel backwards just because she's so top heavy. It's unfortunate. I even tried kind of taking the helmet and kind of crunching it forward to try to avoid that sort of problem, and it really didn't take away from her kind of leaning backwards a lot. I think it would have been a better idea maybe to have a different pose, maybe a foot forward, a foot back, to kind of offset this weird leaning effect that she has here. I don't think it's an issue in quality control. I think it's how this figure is posed and designed. So put them both together in the shot so you can see them both side by side. What is my final thoughts on both these characters? Who should you buy and who should you pass on? Definitely Thor himself is 100% a purchase. If you're looking for a really cool Thor figure, if you don't have one, if you like Thor, I definitely think this is a figure to go with. It is different. It's not the same Thor pops you would have seen in the past from other movies. I like the attention to detail, and the flight pose looks really, really cool. The really cool flashy deco and the armor looks good as well. Stormbreaker with all the energy effects looks really, really cool too. And the price point is really it's not a bad price, about $13 US. Unfortunately here, the Love and Thunder version, of course, of Jane Foster, Mighty Thor, it might be a pass. I like what they're trying to do with the character. I just think because she has such a lanky body, such a top-heavy back head, that she keeps wanting to tip backwards and fall. I think, again, if they would have changed the stance, so it being both feet flat, maybe 1 foot forward and 1 foot back, and put maybe a peg point on the front and a peg point on the back to lock her in position, I think it would be a lot better. I know she's not going to fall backwards, but I keep keep getting the feeling that she is going to tip backwards just because she's just so top heavy. I can even see it as I hold it here. You can see what I'm talking about. She wants to tip backwards, and I'm holding this flat right here. Even better, I'll hold it close to this so you can get even closer. You see, it may not come across well from you on camera, but I'm looking at it from my vantage point, and she's not straight up and down. She is literally leaning like this, but it doesn't look that way from the figure, from the camera's perspective. Unfortunately, she is. Could you probably adjust that? Kind of keep, as I mentioned here, I did a lot of this action here where I would take the helmet and kind of scrunch it forward to try to force her to stay on the peg, and unfortunately, it doesn't feel like she's going to do that. I try it, but even as you see right there, she wants to fall backwards. That's just a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Even when she's locked into her figure stand, she still wants to pitch backwards. It may, again, not come across well, but she is doing that. Again, I don't think this is a quality control problem. I think it's just the way this figure is designed, so be aware of it. Again, my personal thoughts, just to wrap up again, Thor is a buy, definitely. Mighty Thor is probably a pass. If you had to get one, then go buy it if you have the cash. Again, price point, both $13 US. So if you had to put your money on one, definitely go with Thor. So I do hope you like this video review of both Thor and Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, based of course on the Thor Love and Thunder movie coming out in theaters shortly. Remember to give this video a like at the bottom of the page. Click that like button. Click subscribe with the picture of my face at the bottom. When you subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon to be notified of the latest videos. And of course, last but not least, you can click windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys. See you next video, and bye-bye.